Oh yeah. It's Friday, fool! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of It's Friday, Fool. You need this tool. This week, the tool is a welding helmet. Now I'm going to tell you why a welding helmet is extremely important for you guys, especially the ones that are just getting started. I know what you're thinking, welding helmet, I have one of those. What is a welding helmet going to matter? Well, if I had to bet, I would bet that several things that you have issues with while welding are a cause of your welding helmet. So what I'm going to do is go over several things that you need in a welding helmet. These things are going to make you better. First thing you need, and this welding helmet doesn't actually have it, you want as big of a visibility area as you possibly can. Now some welding helmets come with a large frame window for visibility. Now this is good because when you're in tight spots, you're trying to see the puddle, you're trying to see what you're doing, you're trying to make a good weld. Well, in order to do that, you have to see what you're doing. And sometimes when you're in a tight spot, the helmet won't fit. That large frame window will let you see those areas that you wouldn't normally be able to see in a small frame window. The other thing I would suggest is get the self-charging style helmets. So these helmets, the way they work is they don't necessarily take a battery. The actual arc itself charges this thing through these photocells, and that's what actually powers the shield itself. This particular helmet has several options. Has a sensitivity, high and low sensitivity, which basically tells it when to switch, because this is an auto darkening helmet, which is another option you definitely want to go with. Has a high and low sensitivity, basically tells the mask whether it should be sensitive to light or not, and allows it to switch back and forth. It also has a delay time. One feature that is a must for you beginners is a dial. You want to be able to dial the darkness of this shield, and I'll tell you why. I would almost guarantee that the mask that you have right now is too dark. Alright? It's good for your eyes, it's fine for your eyes, I mean it shields your eyes, but the problem is that while you're welding you might be able to see the puddle or the arc, but you probably can't see where you need to be welding. Okay? And so I would bet that a lot of you guys while welding run off path, aren't welding exactly where you need to be. Sometimes you can't even really see what you're doing. You have to stop, lift your helmet to make sure that you're doing the right thing. Those are all because the helmet is too dark, you can't see. You need to be able to see the puddle, you need to be able to see the arc, you need to be able to see all that stuff so you can make nice, clean, good welds, see what you're doing. It's a big step to making nice, high quality welds. Alright? Get you one with an adjuster. Alright, so this thing you can dial it up and down based on what you're using it for. If you're just doing light TIG welding and you don't have a really bright arc, you can dial this thing way down so you can see what you're doing. Versus if you're doing some other kind of welding where you have a really bright arc and maybe you need to dial it up some so it darkens the mask. Or maybe you don't need to see what you're doing as much, you can darken this mask. But it's a really big feature to have. I would almost bet that a lot of you guys don't have it and it is hurting you and you don't even know it. Alright, there you go. This week's tool, the welding helmet. What I'll do is I'll put a bunch of links in the description of helmets I feel like you guys could use. I'll try to keep them within budget. This helmet here is not a very expensive helmet. This is a Metal Man helmet. I don't really like this helmet that much because I've had some issues with some of the plastic pieces on it breaking that I've had to fix. But other than that, it's been a pretty good helmet for me. Like I said, I'll put some in the description. Go check them out. If you don't have the helmet with the skills, then how do you expect to do good welds? Alright guys, that's it for this week. I'll see you guys next week. It's Friday, fool!